Hello, silver fans. This is T, and you're in the place to be for silver education, acquisition, and entertainment. And hey, if you like coin shop videos, you might as well go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Please leave a comment. We're going into Midwest and Indy.
T.
All right. Well, hey, Tony, welcome back on the show.
Welcome
Thanks for welcoming me into your shop. And you're joined by Catherine, the manager here. Hi, Catherine. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And I am back again. My wife's got some business here in Indianapolis, so I thought I had some time to kill. I gave you a call, and long story short, here I am. Tony, people were asking me from the previous video that we did together not long ago about that artwork. And so, can you tell the viewers a little bit about the artwork and where you obtain it? And
It's all listed Indiana art. It's just a personal collection, and it's a lot of it comes in across the counter, believe it or not, people from the States and that type of thing. So we buy a lot. So, yeah.
You're a small town guy from not too far south of Indianapolis.
Correct.
How did you get into art? Were you always an art lover?
A friend of mine, a lot of people that I know that buy silver and gold are into art, so I just got hooked on it and went from there.
One thing leads to another, and before you know it, you're an aficionado. And how long have you been collecting?
Probably 12 years.
Okay.
Most of this I bought within a 2 or 3 year period. So.
Okay. And you don't sell. This is your personal collection, just for your.
Love to buy it out of the States and things, and just people sell it, and they like the thought that it's hanging on the walls in here or hanging at home. They can come in and look at it. So
And so the folks that come and visit your shop can admire it, and it's like coming to a museum almost with the beautiful stuff you have in there. Hey, so since the last time we talked, spot price has really taken a nosedive.
Yeah, it took a hit. I can't figure out if they're going to dump it and pump it or what they're going to do. The ratio is way off compared to what it should be. So.
And you've seen it all. You've been
34 years
through the decades, and the 2011 and all that stuff. Is this just kind of par for the course, or anything unusual about this cycle?
It's kind of strange, but gold's been holding pretty steady, and silver's been dropping. But like I said, the ratios are a lot wider than it usually. Usually, it's about a 60-to-1 ratio, which means silver ought to be about $30 an ounce if you go by the historical ratios. So.
Right, and now we're at today we're filming on what's the 11th?
11th.
And so the ratio somewhere in the 80s.
That's about 80-to-1, yeah.
And it had already, not long ago, dipped down all the way into the low 70s.
Yeah.
And now we're in the 80s. And so, Catherine, what are you seeing around here? Are people coming in to buy numismatic coin collectors, or mostly silver stackers, gold stackers?
The gold and silver stackers, what we're seeing a lot of right now, and people doing coins for gifts for the holidays.
'Tis the season. And so do you normally see a cycle throughout the course of the year with people buying their Christmas presents, and then is there a lull afterwards, or is it just how does it normally run?
We stay busy all year, so yeah, it's a little bit of an uptick in December, but it's just busy all the time. So
You just had a customer here, and 2 customers since I've been in here 5 minutes. Now the phone's ringing, so I see what you mean. The spot price dipping down, how is that affected? Have people see that as a sale?
Nah, we've lowered it down to 27 on generic stuff, and people still buying it like crazy.
Yeah.
How
about junk silver? I didn't notice any in the.
I've got a bunch in the back.
Okay. You still have some of that?
Yeah.
I hear it's drying up around the country.
It's getting hard to get. It's in strong hands is how they term it. So I would sell it right now. It'd be like 20-to-1.
Okay.
So
that's about as low as I've seen it.
Yeah.
20-to-1 is about as low as I've seen it. And so 34 years. What's the wildest thing you've seen come in here? Any interesting stories from over the years? I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but
I've said many times I wish I'd have kept a journal or a book of everything that I've seen in 34 years as far as incredible stuff. I mean,
yeah.
And I had a customer years ago come in, I spent $140-some thousand on 10 silver dollars. I mean, you know, you just,
Whoa.
yeah. And we've had people come in and ask what we're paying for gold and silver, and we tell them, and they bring in $200,000 worth that's in the trunk of their car.
No kidding.
Yeah. So it's, you see everything. And when you think you've seen it all, you haven't seen it all.
Yeah, I bet. Those coins, back to what kind of coins were they?
They were certified Morgan dollars.
Okay.
PCGS certified, and there was a 95 plain proof, which is a proof only issue. And there was all the Carson cities in high grade. There was, I can't even remember, it was a lot. I mean, it was kind of stuff you look at and you think, oh my gosh, you know, this is like the best of the best.
So out of curiosity, do you take that to auction or just stash it away? And
it all gets turned. I don't keep anything.
Okay.
Some of it went to auction. Some of it went to most of it went to private collectors around here.
Okay. And so you probably, I would imagine you have a group of folks that come in and you know what they want. They rely on you to give them a phone call if their specialty comes in. So vintage stuff seems to be pretty popular. Have you noticed that as a recent occurrence, or have people always like just old bars and so forth?
You know, I never realized until just a few years ago just how much of a following was on older poured bars and that type of thing. You know, stuff from the 70s and 80s.
Right.
That small refiners and smelters would put out. You know, I don't have anything now because I've sold it all, but I mean, some of that stuff can get into believe it or not, hundreds of dollars an ounce.
Really?
For some stuff from Cincinnati, the old Cincinnati, some pours from Cincinnati from the 70s bring $100, $200 an ounce.
I've got a pretty cool one from the early 80s. I'm going to make a video about that coming up real soon. But it's a guy who basically poured bars for about 3 years in the early 80s.
Yep.
And now when you find them, it's kind of like hen's teeth, and you don't let those go.
They have whole shows, I guess, on that. There's a whole collector society for that and everything.
What is your outlook on silver stacking in the next 1, 5, 10 years? I know you don't have a crystal ball.
I don't have a crystal ball, but it's got to be cheap at this market. I mean, it makes no sense for silver to be spot price of $22, $23 especially when gold's $1,800. So
right. I think what the demand is going to cause silver to have its day in the sun with the EVs, electric vehicles, the solar panels,
cell phones, all that stuff.
Yeah. With all the industrial purposes, it's got to be on the rise. What else would you say to the viewers who are interested in coming to your store? Any advice for the guy who's relatively new to silver stacking?
We have people come in buy an ounce at a time. We have people come in buy 1,000 ounces at a time.
Okay.
Whatever you're comfortable spending, we treat you the same if you buy 1 ounce or 1,000 ounces. So.
I used to be a little bit intimidated coming into a coin shop or, just because, you're dealing with people who've been doing it 20, 30, 40 years. And what would you say to those folks that have never been in a coin shop or a little bit shy? They like to just buy online?
Come in and try your local shops, and you're much better to buy from your local guys than you are from online people, I think. But
I like the fact that, you're never going to have any surprises online.
That's right.
And you know what you got, and it's the same deal that
you pay for
a million
it, walk
people
out
on
with
the
it.
planet have. Here and some of the other coin shops I go to, the fun of it to me is the surprise that you might.
Yeah.
I've bought some, Cubs
Those
rounds
Cubs rounds
from you
last
time, and that was quite a surprise. In the generic round bin, back where I'm from, those would have been $10 more expensive just because there's a big market for that. So, all right, well, very nice to hang out with you again, Tony. I appreciate it. And
sure.
I'm going to do a little shopping, snoop around, see what you got. And by the way, you just brought this out just a second ago. I noticed
part of a buy we did this week. It's a bunch of generic rounds and 1 ounce silver maple leaf. So I mean, we buy a lot. So if we always have a lot in stock. If I don't have it, we don't have it in stock. There's nobody going to have it in stock.
So those are, how many ounces of that would?
There's 1, 2, 3, over 400 ounces there.
Wow.
Almost 500.
And that was just one person
That's
walking in?
That's half of what we bought from one guy. Yeah.
Wow. And that's a lot of ounces to liquidate at one time.
Yep.
And do you care to tell me the story there? Was it something, a
He
grandfather?
came down from northern Indiana, and I wanted to generate some cash, so
Wow.
he had bought most of it from us, I think.
Well, maples are maples, but I'm going to kind of sniff through those rounds a little bit, see if I find anything interesting, and I'll show my viewers at the end of the show. So thanks again, Tony. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming back.
Okay, guys, it's that time in the video where I show you what I acquired, and there was lots of good options here, but you tell me how I did. I picked up these generics for $27 a pop. You've got the OPM, Ohio Precious Metals, it says USA right there. I've got this colorized, interesting round, very unique, never seen anything like this before. And so I couldn't pass this up. An artistic round in a place with lots of amazing artwork. Old Prospector, 1982. You don't pass those up when you get the chance. And then interesting, this 1973, another generic round. Can't say that I've really seen much from Silver Metals International. I see a lot of 1973 silver. And Tony was explaining to me is that around the time that the USA went off the gold standard, and silver was very popular back then. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next Coin Shop video. T.
It was an 1889 TC Steele that just walked in a few months ago. It's pretty major. I bought it directly from the family who got it from Steele. It's in the first TC Steele book that his late wife, or his wife, did with their son. And it's in what's called the Steele Portfolio, which is a brochure that Steele put out in the 1890s of his 25 best paintings that he liked at the time, that type of thing. And it's a pretty major piece. I mean, it just walked in. It's
absolutely beautiful, and pardon my ignorance about fine artwork, but what is his history? Is he and he's an Indiana guy from what part of the state?
T.C. Steele is considered the king of Indiana artists. He's from Indianapolis originally, and it's just a major piece for something like that just to walk in.
Gorgeous. Well, thanks for showing me that. Hey, what a neat treat to see that amazing artwork. By now, hopefully you have subscribed, but if you haven't already, be sure to hit that little T logo at the top, hit the bell notification down below to see more videos like this. And if you like coin shop videos, I've got an entire playlist. Be sure to click on through.